What is going on? And welcome back to another Sports Talk on Tap video. We're here. You can find daily videos Monday through Friday covering all the four major sports leagues, whether that be NFL, NHL, MLB, or NBA, games, news, highlights, all that fun stuff. And in today's video for our NFL segment, definitely nothing else to talk about besides the two games that happened last night, the Patriots and Panthers primarily, and then we also had a little bit of Lions Giants, and then obviously, a quick preview of tonight's games and the games Saturday, where a lot of the main games will be played. But overall, Nick, Patriots' first preseason game is down. And how are you feeling after this game? Any optimism change from the win total of like 3.5 to 1.5 or to 7.5? What are the logistics here?
I can't say it's that drastic, but after the game, I was kind of thinking to myself, hey, I should probably enjoy this a little bit more because it might be one of the only wins they get all year. But there was some positives to take out. David Wallace, that punt returner, I'm not sure how much you watched the game. I don't know,
I tapped in here or there. I was mainly for the Bailey Zappi drives.
So that was like second quarter to mid third quarter. Bailey Zappi actually got a lot of reps, which I was a little surprised at, but maybe
he doesn't really need it, but because he's been in the league for a couple of years now. But yeah,
the way I was seeing it is that was probably his final audition. It's like, hey, if you want a chance to make this team, like, you need to wow us in this, quarter and a half. And just Joe Milton comes in right away and instantaneously looks like a better quarterback, which I think Bailey Zappi, might have played his way out of, the quarterback room. We'll obviously have to see. Maybe we go to that Eagles joint practice and he just carves up the Eagles. I don't know what's going to happen, but the highlight was probably Joe Milton, I would say. Like, I think anybody who watched the game, Patriots fan or not, would say that, he put on some good plays. Obviously against, a third string, weak Carolina defense, but nevertheless, like, he made all the throws he was supposed to make. He made that great double move. I can't remember the receiver's name. I know his last name is Jackson. I can't remember his first name. That was a good route, good throw.
Right on the money.
What was that?
It was right on the money. Even if it was wide open, you just put it right in the spot. That was great. I feel like for Carolina, there really wasn't much to take away, obviously, because a lot of the starters didn't play, which kind of don't get, considering the year they had, but okay. But one thing is for sure is their offensive line, even if it's just the second unit or the third unit, boy, that is scary if someone goes down because, every drive I watched, it was like they got into like 3rd and 30s, whether it be the penalties or just sacks or fumbles. It was a whole mess. But, yet again, it is the third stringers or second stringers fighting for roster spots. But, just the Patriots defense was getting to them. And obviously, when you only allow 3 points, you're doing something, right? So, that was nice. I think, and obviously, all eyes were focused on Drake May for the little run he had. Mayo,
surprising to me.
Yeah, the Draw Mayo on the offense kind of played it very safe on his drives. I actually didn't get a chance to watch it in real time, but it sounded like there was just a couple screenplays set up for him just to get him some completions, which is good. And then he had like one real throw, and that was pretty much it. And then that was his night.
Yeah, that was probably, when talking about what are some of the positive and negative takeaways, I think they could have done a little bit more with Drake May. I don't know if because it was raining, because they wanted to maybe they weren't comfortable with putting him out there for a long time yet, but I would have liked to see at least another series or two, especially if you're giving Bailey Zappi like pretty much a whole quarter and a half to go through, and then Joe Milton gets, the back half of the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter. Like, if he's getting that much, I know Joe Milton's been the surprise factor of training camp thus far in preseason, but I feel like Drake May should get a little bit more real reps.
Are you higher on Joe Milton or Drake May as the Patriots' future?
I mean, Joe Milton obviously rose his stock last night. I definitely liked what I saw. I'm taking it with a grain of salt just because it's the first preseason week, and it's literally like impossible to know if this translates. Like, we've seen so many quarterbacks, so many young players like show out in the preseason, and they're just not in the league anymore. But I can only take away with what I've seen, and what I saw was I liked what I saw from Joe Milton.
Yeah,
I'm okay if he works out. It's it's cool to have two good rookie quarterbacks, but we'll have to see. I think when we go to that Eagles practice on Tuesday, I hope we see a lot more Drake May, because we really, like you said, I know you didn't tune in, but it was really exactly what you said. It was just screen plays and handoffs. There was one down the field throw.
I mean, I get why you call a couple screenplays, but then eventually you gotta kind of let it rip, play another drive, just ease them into the game. But then, so that didn't make much sense. And I'm curious. I believe Jacoby Brissett got, was it 1 or 2 drives at the beginning?
I think he only got 1 as well. I think it was Jacoby Brissett for a drive, then Drake May, and then Bailey Zappi for like the rest of the first half.
And obviously, I mean, if you're to look at negatives for the Patriots, I mean, their defense was pretty much positive. Joe Milton, some of the younger guys on the offense side are definitely positive. I would say the same one. The negatives was just play time. I want to see Brissett, if he's your starter, get at least 2 drives, maybe 3, similar to Drake May. I feel like it should have been more so Jacoby Brissett basically first quarter, Drake May second quarter. You already kind of know what Bailey Zappi is, so if you want to give him like 1 drive, that's cool. And then play Joe Milton the rest of the game. I don't mind the Joe Milton, getting him a lot of run just to see, but you kind of know what Bailey Zappi is. You don't really need to figure him out in preseason, and he has been here for a little bit, so he knows the offense. So it was all right. I mean, but, overall, I'm kind of curious, to see if we see Jacoby Brissett more, just so he can get into rhythm with the offense and, similar with Drake May.
Yeah. Another like maybe really small negative to take away. I saw a lot of drops from the Patriots. Like, I know it was a lot of their backups. I know it was raining. First preseason game, maybe you're a little nervous. I don't know. But, a lot of the balls were balls that should be caught. They were in the chest, in the hands, and they were kind of just hitting the ground. So I guess that's another negative. But we'll see.
I don't know if he had a couple drops, but Keyshawn Boutte had a couple receptions. And
he looked pretty good.
He's an LSU guy.
Yeah, he was. I remember him at LSU, and he had off the field trouble. But before that off the field stuff, a lot of people were thinking, he was going to be, a late first round, early second round type of draft pick, and I think he fell to the Patriots in like the 5th or 6th round last year. He played in that Eagles game and quote unquote cost them the game because they were on like a 4th and 10, caught an out route, but couldn't keep his feet in, so it ended up turning the ball over. Patriots lost the game, and then he didn't play after that. I don't know if that was a Belichick thing or whatever, but he definitely has talent. So it was cool to see him, be able to actually be on the field.
Yeah, no, definitely. Maybe that's someone, Gerard Mayo helps incorporate to this offense if he shines more in preseason. But with that being said, obviously that was a great first game, just to see the Patriots get a win. Like you said, just based on sportsbook odds and everything, we don't know how many wins we're going to get, so enjoy them as early as possible. Still early in August, so, rack them up. And then Giants, similar score, 14-3, win over the Lions. I mean, really, no starters played for either team, which I was surprised by. I don't believe we saw Malik Neighbors at all. We didn't see Daniel Jones, obviously. So it was mainly Tommy DeVito leading the way for the Giants, Drew Lock, and then, mainly the defense. Once again, similar to the Patriots, allowing 3 points for the Lions, though, obviously. Like we said, this is probably the most meaningless for them because they have nothing to prove. I don't even know if they're going to play anyone throughout the whole preseason. They're stacked. They're just kind of, seeing if they have any diamonds in the roughs maybe, or, stuff like that in this preseason. With that being said, we obviously have a big weekend of preseason football. More games on tonight. I don't remember the exact teams. I know Miami plays tonight, but similar to the The Lions, I'm obviously expecting to Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, all those guys to play. But same can't be said for my Vikings. Saturday, Kevin O'Connell came out and said, we're going to see Sam Darnold for a little bit, which should be good. Maybe a couple drives there just to get him in rhythm. And he said a lot of the guys should be playing. He said the only two specific names that weren't playing is Harrison Smith, obviously, because he's 35 or something. He's been around the league for a while. So there's no reason for him to play, and Justin Jefferson. So if Jordan Addison plays or, someone that just to see how they look. And then obviously all eyes are on JJ McCarthy and see what he does. So that'll be great. They take on the Raiders, who I assume might play Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, just to get them some reps. Probably not Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, veteran in this league, knows what he can do, but who knows? I think it's going to be very curious. And then obviously similar with the Eagles and Patriots, joint practices in Cleveland next week, which I'll be really excited for, just to hear how everything is going before, Patriots Eagles preseason game 2, and then Vikings Browns, and then Nick, obviously big weekend. We might see some of these other top 10 picks. I believe Caleb Williams might get some run this weekend with the Bears. Hopefully he does. You need these rookies, especially with that guy starting in the high expectations. At least just see some of these guys. We'll see, who shines, maybe, who has stuff to learn, because like I said, I'm not going to call anyone to bust or, anything if they fail in their first preseason game. Because, you remember the memes Jamar Chase got for all his drops in 2021, and then came onto the scene week 1 against my Vikings, got like a 55-yard touchdown, did the gritty, and then they went on to the Super Bowl. So, it is preseason after all, but it's just fun to see the guys out there. So with that being said, should be a fun weekend, Nick, obviously, to recap on Monday. But Patriots first win, Giants first win. So should be fun. But as always, let us know your biggest takeaways from the preseason games and maybe what players or teams you're looking forward to watching tonight or this weekend, as the first preseason weekend will just be getting ramped up. But make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.